Hello, Soul Loves. It's Kimberly, and we're going to talk about Neptune today. Neptune goes direct, and he has been in his assigned modern day astrology home sign, Pisces. And when Neptune is in a sign, it's one of those generational ones because it's in a sign for like in a house, in a sign for 13 years. So wherever that house is in um your own wheel, then that's the influence that Neptune has had on you. So I'm going to go into all signs with that and what that where he's been, what's been going on, what the retrograde has meant, and moving out of this, what the opportunities and the energies are for you. So Neptune was discovered in 1846, and it holds this distinction of being the most distant planet from our solar system. And in astrology, Neptune governs everything related to the spiritual dimensions, including psychic abilities, intuition, dreams, the connection that explains why Pisces, symbolized by the fish, is known for its creative yet sometimes delusional imagination energy. So, in Roman mythology, Neptune is the god of fresh waters, and which is why it's probably assigned. I don't know what was in those people's heads when modern astrology, when they assigned what to what, but that was probably what the connection to it was. So traditional astrology, Jupiter was the ruler of Pisces until Neptune came along. And then in modern astrology, Neptune was stepped into the ruler of Pisces. So that's why when you hear different people that do use, one particular system, they, that's their dogma. So that's the one that they talk about. I have a lot of Neptune influence in my own chart. So I feel like Neptune gets left out because, he's the most distant planet from us, which to me, the distant ones, then that has more energy over the collective, and then how you can anchor this energy in and use it for your own alchemy. And that's what I'm about, is sharing with you all insights of how this stuff demonstrates within me and what my experiences is, so you can take that and see what your own experience is with it, and not what I tell you or anybody else tells you. We're not the boss of you, or we're not the boss of Neptune either. So in my own personal chart, I have a 12th house sun, which that is Pisces home. Okay, my Libra is in the 12th house, and that's the only thing I have there. And then in my first house, I have Scorpio is my rising, with Neptune, Mercury, and Venus. They're all in there together. They're all conjunct with each other. And my ascendant is the same degree as my sun sign. So it's like they're all married to each other. There's not a big separation. Lots of people think I am a Scorpio, like the Scorpio energy comes out in me. So anyway, because of that, how it demonstrates in me, and yes, I'm talking about me because I know the energies of self and what this energy gives me in this plane of existence. So because of that energy being there so connected, it's why my super spidey powers, with being able to walk through the dark scorpion waters to see the light of transmutation, and how I bring that to the world. And with it being with my Mercury and Neptune conjunct, then it makes me an innate channel. Like I can just do it. I don't have to think about it. Nobody taught me. It just is there. And when I'm living back in Kentucky, so I'm back on my natal line with that, and I am setting on top of my natal Neptune Mercury. So that gives me the energy to be able to do that. So I'm a wide eye open channel. It's like I don't have to go off somewhere else to be able to tap into stuff. And what I have noticed, which you all, I'm telling you this because you may be noticing, pay attention to your dreams this week during this time period. But also, you know, I don't like the house of dead people. I don't really like it when they all show up here and start talking to me and giving me messages. And when people want me to try to go get messages from their, relatives that have crossed over. But man, it's like a revolving door around here right now. They're showing up every day. But the experiences that I've had, the reason I don't like it is because I feel the emotions. I feel all of the emotions of the energy. In the past, I didn't like it. I squirmed away from it. I didn't want to deal with the emotions, and the emotions were the emotional pain in the 3D of the people that were coming to me to, that wanted the readings. And so my experience this week has been really different because it's been people that I really, that I had loved ones of mine that have crossed over, and they're showing me in spirit what they're doing and how life continues, that there is no separation. When we step out of this 3D skin suit, we just keep on with their thing. This whole bullshit in New Age, whatever you want to call it, that, we're here and we can only ascend here and blah, blah, blah. It ain't true. My brother dropped his body because he couldn't do it here. It was going to be too big of a chore. And I watched how he stepped into it in spirit, and he's been in recovery, there. And now he's doing his job. And one of my dear best friends that was also connected with him, they both showed up for me yesterday, and I'm going to start crying talking about it because they showed me what they were doing, and they knew each other in this 3D. And my friend, Carmen, I love you. When in her last days, she told me that when she got we were going to her future self. I was holding space for her to go to her future self. And she was going through her walk with the diva of Cancer. Okay. And I was holding space for her to connect to her future self, to see what the healing was for her. And when she passed this, what was she going to be doing? And she saw herself working with children. And she told me that she had always had this dream job of working for Greenpeace and working with children and going to places to help the children. And so yesterday, she came to me in a vision, or the vision, I went to the vision, or whatever. It just spontaneously happens, and that's what it happens to me. And she was working with the children that are being crossed over right now. And for me to see her there, and she was in so much love and so much joy, and she looked, I don't know why I'm crying. She was in so much joy. And I want to let you all know the children were happy. All these children that are dying right now, or what we perceive as dying here in the 3D with this war shit that humanity's created and that we're doing, those children are happy as they can be. She was there with them. She was like Mother Teresa to them. I don't know how Mother Teresa was with the children, but she had arms open and she was hugging them and playing them. And there was so much laughter. And my brother was driving this big beat up van that was an old Red Cross van that was all beat up. And it was like the kind that, that transports people, like the kind that, like here in Airtown, we have those kind that transport like the old people from one place to the next. It was one of those kind of transport vans. And he was driving that, and he opened up the door and let all the children out, and they were all laughing and playing. And then they ran, to the playground with her. So I want to tell you all that. So you know that this little fractal of what we imagine here in this plane of existence, it's only a tiny, tiny drop in the big bucket. and life goes on. And one of the gifts that I got with that yesterday was seeing how stress-free they were and how we get bogged down from this shit that we make up here on this planet. And then we align with our soul and what our soulful purpose is, then that's when we're in flow. And that they were in divine flow because, that's where they're at right now, but that we too can have that here. So that's what, that's what the two of them showed me yesterday. So I don't know if any of that makes any sense because I just started channeling in my Neptune and my Mercury is, it's like, so I'm probably going to start doing a lot more of that on this channel to just let you all know. And I'll probably just come on and start giving spirit messages that I'm getting for today instead of all this heady astrology stuff. But back to the heady astrology stuff. So Neptune encourages us to embrace our dream world more than reality itself. It does do that. And it allows us to dissolve our ego into the vast consciousness of the universe, providing us with spiritual insights, guidance, and transcendental energies of experience, the transcendence experience of oneness in all existences. That's the experience I had yesterday. I went into the oneness of all existence and there was no separation, like how I could travel from one plane to the next. And when I'm in alignment, I have that ability all the time, you all. I can walk into it. Sometimes it's like a revolving door and it just happens. Okay. And we're all going to that. That's what this whole 3D ascension process is about. So often referred to as the spiritual trident of the solar system, Neptune's placement in your birth chart amplifies the sensitivity of your psychic abilities. That's why I was explaining all that about me and how it manifests in this being that I am. Okay. So without grounding in reality, Neptune's influence can lead to addictive escapism and delusional energy. And that is true. That's what it's like. Thank God that I gave myself a Taurus moon when I come in here, because that's what grounds the energy for me, or I would not make sense most of the time to anybody. Not that I do much anyway. Anyway, due to its time in daydreams or exploring the supernatural, this planet's association with delusion and impractical thinking becomes evident. And during Neptune's retrogrades, it causes clouded judgment and confusion. Confusion. Okay. And we have been in that since June. We have been in the retrograde energy, and now we're stepping into what were we doing during our dream time and all of that, and what we can bring out and integrate into the 3D from those psychic realms. So Neptune's influence on Pisces, its connection to the supernatural, aligns perfectly with the Pisces transcendental nature, and the influence makes practicality feel often unrealistic during this time period. It can make it feel too limited. It can make practicality feel too limited. And then it can come across as all airy, fairy, dreamy, and unrealistic mindset to people that just don't get it. Okay. So it can keep the Piscean dreamy energy. It can keep people in that perpetual state of escapism, because it's more fun to be there than it is to be here. Okay, so Pisces shadow traits includes the deception. It can emerge from this position. Okay. So, however, that Piscean, the Pisces in a Piscean person, and wherever that is in your own chart, this can be gifted with the ability to perceive beyond earthly realms due to Neptune's access to the spiritual dimension. Okay? So Neptune endows the Piscean with heightened sensitivity of empathy. You just saw me display all that empathy, and intensifying the spiritual power and emotion of the experience. This dreamy planet paints a internal landscape for the Piscean, filled with emotions, dreams, visions, the sensations, and the creativity. Yet the Neptune's connection to the spiritual plane can sometimes disconnect the Piscean from reality, leading that energy in that house for you to seek refuge in the fantasy world as a coping mechanism for overwhelming conscious experiences here in the 3D. I mean, I think that's why I do spirit art. It's like I can escape into my art and get lost in that and see the unseen of what others, can't see. I don't know if y'all can see that one up there on the back of that's my soul painting of me. So that's what I do when I do soul paintings. Okay. So anyway, this retrograde impact on the collective, this is what the energies had during Neptune's retrograde, which occurred early this year. I think I said June. I forgot what the exact date is. Likely confronted us with harsh reality checks and scattered any illusions that we may have entertained. And as Neptune stations direct, it's going to open the door to intuitive dreaming, fantasy once again. So, however, Neptune's influence goes beyond the ethereal, and it also symbolizes the deception and the escapism. So Neptune's slow movement means that it took time for each one of these zodiac signs to recognize the illusions that in their lives during the retrograde period. So now that's why it's in such a long retrograde, so that we can bring it in. Things that happen in spirit happen like this, okay? And then when it comes to this realm, it's slower, like it's denser. So it comes in slower. So we need that expansion so we can integrate the energies that came to us during that time period. It took time for each one of these zodiac signs to recognize the illusions that in their lives during the retrograde period. So now that's why it's in such a long retrograde, so that we can bring it in. Things that happen in spirit happen like this, okay? And then when it comes to this realm, it's slower, like it's denser. So it comes in slower. So we need that expansion so we can integrate the energies that came to us during that time period. Okay. Now, as Neptune goes direct, dreams will once again feel attainable, within reason. And it's a period of sobering reflection. So you may actually sober up. It should have reminded us that all of the power that we have, and the power in our own delusions, and the importance of discerning between fantasy and reality. Okay, so Neptune actually entered Pisces February the 3rd, 2012. That's how long it's been sitting there, okay? So it's been there 13 years and a month. This transit of Neptune will enter into Aries in March 30th, 2025, okay? So it's going to enter there, but then it's going to go retrograde back into Pisces early in 2026. So so it's bringing compassion, understanding, and a world of possibilities. While Neptune may appear exclusive, like the fishes of the zodiac, it offers unique opportunity for every sign to believe in their dreams as they stay grounded in reality. So I'm going to go back over those dates for you all being grounded in reality. So February the 3rd, 2012 to March 30th, 2025. It's in your Pisces house, wherever that is in your chart. And then from October 22nd, 2025 to January 26, 2026. Okay. So it's going to go out into Aries and then retrograde back into Pisces. So during this time period, the vision of the ideal world may be centered around compassion, mercy, empathy, service, sacrifice, intuition, your artistry, and your spirituality. So the Neptune sign, the position, is especially sensitive in the intuitive and the imagination. It also in the escapism energy. Okay. So it's probably best to watch for avoidant behavior, since we can be quite comfortable in the non-material world. And you're capable of great devotion when you believe in something, and your dreams, and how boundless that they really are, how boundless your dreams truly are, and how you can dream any possibility in. But then, when you bring it into 3D, you got to do some stuff with that to get that going. Like, I can imagine all kinds of things in my mind to paint, but it ain't going to paint itself unless I sit down and do it. I can imagine all kinds of things to create and to hand to you all, but I got to push these buttons. I have to push these buttons in this 3D for that to happen. Okay, so now I'm going to go into all signs. Okay, people, I am Kimberly Crow, and this is Celestial Juju, and I am a Western astrologist using whole sign system for this energy analysis to tell you where you're about your Neptune and what house that's been for you. And what this means is it's coming out into this retrograde. So I'm using whole sign system, which is traditional, even though I dabble back and forth between modern, shamanic, evolutionary, and traditional astrology. And I fly back and forth by the seat of my pants, and that's probably that Neptune energy that's there with all of it. So listen up, people. Your rising sign is what you came here to embody, your soul. It's your soulful purpose, your soul glow that you want to send out into the world. You have to know your birth time to do your rising sign. Your sun sign is the day you were born, you and everybody else that was born on that day. Okay? It's what you came, your personality, to reflect out into the world, what gets reflected back to you. And it can be male authority figures in your life, in your chart. It could be your daddy. It's your daddy. Okay? Moon, it's your emotional IQ. It's how you process the energy between you and the rest of humanity. It's the nurturing energy, and it can represent your mama in your chart. Okay, so here we go. Aries coming up first. So, Aries, during this time period, inspiration will be yours once more as we come into this out of the retrograde into the direct motion. When Neptune stations direct, you may feel a levity and an energy surrounding your beliefs and your spirituality. Rather than to retreat in yourself, as you may have been inclined to do during this retro season, you'll be ready to share what you believe with all of the other zodiac sign, and to speak much conviction as you give your dreams a voice. Okay? Taurus, the energy effect that this could have on you. Your time spent in Neptune's retrograde showed you who your most faithful friends are. Not only will this transit bring you indulgent capacity for socializing, but it also will ensure you socialization with compassion. Remember to spend your time with people that encourage your dreams. Your practical and your reliable nature always benefits a bit from a little bit of healthy fantasy, Taurus. Integrate that in. Okay, Gemini. Neptune station direct will impact your career goals. Gemini, as fantasies affect reality, you may be tempted to return to your haphazard, spontaneous ways, particularly in regard to your schedule. But don't give in to these mutable, shifting energies. You have the power to enhance your professional life as long as you don't get distracted by things too good to be true, Gemini. Okay, okay, Cancer. Now's the time for stillness. Neptune going direct in your fellow water sign Pisces will have you dreaming of new experiences and opportunities. But pause before you're jumping into the uncharted waters. Neptune's retrograde is likely showed you the importance of self-compassion and patience. Carrying these themes into the new year. Choose your dreams carefully, Cancer. Leo, you might have been the only person that you could trust during this Neptune's retrograde time period. Themes of loyalty, false promises will continue as Neptune stations direct, but your genuine heart will tap into Pisces nurturing energy to bring clarity. Even as fantasies overwhelm you, take care of yourself and be a little selfish during this time. Only then will things really get clearer to you. Okay, Leo? Virgo, your Pisces opposite. Virgo, you understand the helpful side of the new Neptune energy, the directness. While wishful thinking isn't something you engage in too often, you may want to practice a little bit more positivity and optimistic energy during this time period, particularly when it comes to your closest relationships. What do you hope for in these connections? It may just be real to you, especially if you keep your heart open. Virgo, keep your heart open. Out of your head. Out of your head. Okay, Libra, speaking out of the head. It may feel easy to slip back into fantasies as Neptune stations direct, but the fantasies surrounding your health, your routines aren't best left ignored during this time period. Neptune's time in retrograde demonstrated to you the importance of daily balance. Indulging in your wellness and self-care is the key right now. Just make sure that you avoid any and all potential addictive and unhealthy patterns. So what was the aha that you got with that? What's showing up for you, and what's the thing that you've been going, I know I got to let go of this. So that's your ahas, Libra. Okay. Scorpio, you're likely stuck in the wonderful balance between the creativity and the reality during this Mercury retrograde. As the planet of fantasies goes direct once again, it may prove difficult to maintain your carefully crafted creative endeavors. Neptune will make everything feel full of potential, even when it isn't true. Use your discernment and your intuition to reclaim your inspiration, Scorpio. Hear that, all my little Scorpio sisters and brothers? Reclaim your inspiration during this time period. I am going to do a new soul painting. I have got to paint again. Okay. Y'all hold me to it. Sagittarius. Potential is very important word for you, Sagittarius. But as this Neptune stations direct, It's vital to identify the difference between potential and what's truly possible. Don't evade the potential you see in others during this time, particularly in your family and your friend groups. Use your wisdom and your personal beliefs to help you slow down and strategically seek truth in the possibilities, Sagittarius. Okay, Capricorn, as your season looms, as it's coming in, Neptune's transit may make you anxious, particularly regarding how you yield your words. Communication may feel more fanciful and fake as Neptune stations direct. Sometimes you may not enjoy the energy. Your pragmatic energy has and will always be your guide. So there's no need for you to maintain, a false projection to the world. In your conversations during this time period, be truthful, Capricorn, and ground that energy in the possibilities. Okay, Aquarius. Stability will call on you in your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. Neptune's directness will instill a need for day-to-day scrutiny in you, sometimes rooted in finances and savings. Pay attention, okay? Lean on your fixed nature during this time period. You have the power to see anything through your guiding your dreams into your reality, okay? Just don't give into quick fixes or false senses of security. Remain innovative and tenacious during this time period, Aquarius. Pisces, Neptune is going direct in your sign, baby. This may leave you feeling mournful at first. Your planetary ruler had you in the deep introspective energy during this retrograde, and the introspective surroundings, the potential that lies within you to tell yourself. The fantasies return during this transit, but they will they'll need to be hollow, okay? Let them flow is what I'm hearing. You know exactly who you are. And now it's time to embrace the vision over your fantasies. So grounded in, Pisces, you can see what others don't see. You're here to help others with that. And it's part of who you are. Okay? So be blessed during this time period. Okay, we made it through all the signs. The other things that we've got going on, we have the Libra, Venus, the karmic dump cup. Go back and watch that one, and it'll tell you what the Venus North Node and the Pluto energies were. I did that this week, so you can listen to that. And we have Mars in Sagittarius from November the 24th to January the 4th in all signs, so you can go back and listen to that. And I have a collab coming up on the 6th with Louisa and Jasmine. So we've got that coming up, and we're going to talk about Saturn. So come and play with us. So in this energy, in this fantasy to delusion and what we're creating here on earth, that's what Spirit showed me today. When we step into our soulful purpose and let it flow, then we have the power to protect our peace. It's when we get caught up in all of this 3D illusion. It's like, go to spirit world. Let Neptune show you how to bring the compassion and the love and the peace into your reality here from spirit world. So you have the peace to do that. You have the power to do that. Connect to Gaia, the heart of Gaia. She holds your earth records. Connect to those. and bring that into your heart, into your spirit, and speak it out into the world, into your manifestations. Oh, we have Mercury moved into Capricorn, and I did a preview of that, and we're already in the shadow, and that happens next week on the 13th, and I'll also have a new moon thing coming up for you all. So thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming out of spirit world, taking a 3D skin suit and embodying on this planet so it can be the planet of love and compassion, because Earth herself she's all nurturing. It's humanity's batshit crazy consciousness that throws the fu wrench into the world through its greed. So when we connect to our soul, and I'm going to be talking about this a lot more in our own soul purpose, then we don't want a war, and we don't want stuff that's other people's, because it's just empty. It's just empty. And then we have to go war again because it's empty energy. So that's me off of my soapbox now. Thank you. Thank you. May you be blessed. And remember to dance your freaky dance and be your freaky self.